Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, March 18th, and the time right now is 9:05. Welcome into a brand new episode of Ask Andrew Live. I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
And I'm weather anchor Peter Warner. Thank you for joining us on the massive melt, the Meltageddon.
Meltageddon 26.
Meltageddon 26.
Yes.
It's going to be crazy.
We're gonna have so much water everywhere.
Yeah.
We're not expecting flooding or anything like that, but the melt is going to be very, very quick this week.
Yes, I don't think anyone's mad about it.
No, I'm not. I know the farmers are going to be happy because they want the moisture that they're going to get from this snow. And it's also going to be incredible to watch how much the green up takes place this week, too.
It's going to be huge. We're finally going to start to see that green. I'm excited about it. I missed it.
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice.
It's going to be nice to see things come alive again
Yes.
instead of all this dead grass and dead trees and
I know.
brush and all that sitting around. So we're going to talk about, of course, this warm air coming in. We're also going to recap the blizzard that we had on Monday because that was brutal.
That was not fun.
Oof.
Where would you rate that on your drive to work? Worst of all time.
I put it in the top 3, but honestly, when I was thinking about it and I was going back and looking at my dash cam video, I think it's the top spot.
Is it
Of the
really?
worst that I've ever driven through.
Was it that bad?
Yeah.
Right around like
bad.
what I'd say 2 a.m., 3 a.m.? Oh.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. And yeah, something I don't think any of us are going to forget.
No.
Anytime soon.
No, I don't
That
think
is
so.
for sure. So we're glad you're here. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. You know the deal. If you got a question, we're going to get to it actually really quickly today because I didn't get to do an Ask Andrew this week. We had the blizzard on Monday, which is our usual day.
Yep.
And then this morning we had another weather impact alert for the light snow that caused a couple of slick spots. So
Yeah, it's been a busy last,
Yeah.
week and a half?
it has
Week.
been.
Because we had the severe storms last Tuesday.
That's right.
And then we had, of course, the blizzard and now the snow.
And now the snow. And now we're going to summer.
Now we're going to summer. Welcome to the Midwest.
All in the same week.
Yeah.
Gosh. Questions 309-304-0888.
309-304-0888.
And there you see it at the bottom of your screen. So let's get started. Let's start with a blizzard recap of what happened here on Monday. And I loaded up the graphic. I posted this on social
Yes.
just to show you guys what ended up happening, what our expectations were, how this system kind of panned out overall. I'd say I'm pretty happy with the way that things shaped out. The impact was there. We're very much on message when we said travel was going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
If not borderline impossible at times. And we were on message, I think, with the snowfall totals as well.
Yeah. The Metro, I adjusted that last minute too, so I like to say we said 4 to 7.
Yeah.
It's because we
little
did
bit
have
higher.
that final call, but that was really the only major shift we saw. Everywhere else was pretty much right within the range that we were forecasting, which is great to see.
Yeah, you always want to see this because everyone, I know that the numbers are so important.
Yes.
Even though
it wasn't a numbers event.
Exactly. Yeah, this was more of an impacts event because we could have had, like Macomb saw, only 2 inches of snow, and we still would have had those terrible whiteout conditions that we had. A blizzard is a blizzard after all.
It is.
So, if I were to give a grade on the forecast, I think I'd give it pretty much like an A-.
I was gonna say
No.
A- or B plus.
B+,
Maybe
yeah.
it ticks down to a B plus because of the Metro,
Because of the Metro coming a little bit higher.
which stinks.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, the haters have been very quiet. I'm willing to say it. They've been very quiet.
He's going there. He's taking
I
it
am.
there.
I am. I just know we've gotten a lot of comments leading up into the event. I know I saw them, and I'm pretty sure you saw them as well.
Yes.
Saying this never actually happens, and then it happened.
Yeah. It was a very challenging event in terms of that. I agree with Peter. I can honestly say I've never seen one specific weather event cause so much negative feedback.
Yes.
I think in total I had to remove 3 people, maybe 3 or 4 total from my Facebook page
Yeah.
for just insults and just beyond what I was going to handle and let go on. Yeah. So I just ask everybody to take a deep breath.
Yes.
What we did before this blizzard was not to alarm everybody. It was not to scare you to death. It was not to make you cancel your plans or force you to do anything. But we wanted to get out the magnitude of what was going to happen with this event. Look at how many people went off the roadway.
Yeah.
And all that. Even on the I-74 bridge, we had an accident, for crying out loud.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
supposed to be one of the safest bridges we have in the Quad Cities now. So
And I
that's why
saw-
the message was there.
On my way home, just going from I-74 here, Avenue to the cities of Kimberly, 5 cars on the side of the road.
Yeah.
on Monday morning.
So that tells you how bad
Yeah.
it was. Even seasoned drivers can get in trouble.
Yes.
So that's why we messaged it the way that we did. It was not to upset anybody. It was not to set off mass hysteria, mass panic, which I still don't get why we mass go to the grocery store before stores.
The toilet paper? Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I don't understand it. I don't do it myself personally. Like I said on my Facebook, I'm like, you give me a couple frozen pizzas,
I'll be fine.
I'll stretch it for like 3-5 days. I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't need much.
I always just freeze most of my food anyway after I buy it.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you think this is bad, you should see Dallas, Texas when they get their snows. The grocery stores are empty.
Crazy.
Even the vegetables are gone.
Even the vegetables. That's when you
That's
know it's
when you
bad.
know it's bad.
And people are even down to the prunes.
And the shrimp ramen's taken.
the shrimp ramen.
I'm not a shrimp ramen guy. I like
I'm
the
not
chicken
either.
flavor. That's my go-to.
Wow. That is
But-
desperation.
Yeah, that's where it gets, and no water's left, nothing.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, I hope this is the last time we have to do that.
Yes, I do
for
too.
this season.
I would think so,
yeah.
based on the pattern coming up too.
I think so too. I think that the big impactful winter stuff is behind us now. But yeah, what a storm. We'll see in terms of, history and records and stuff like that. We didn't break any records that I'm aware of.
No.
And if you're wondering, is it one of the latest blizzards we've had on record? That was really hard to find out. I still don't have an answer.
Yeah.
I may reach out to the National Weather Service folks this afternoon and say, hey, do you have any kind of precedent to see how late this was? Because it came in March. Most of our blizzards are November, December, January, and February.
Yep.
But this was the middle of March, which is kind of late.
It is a little bit late. And I know you can get them, especially in Minnesota and central Iowa, with these big swings in temperatures. That's like last year, for example, we had a March blizzard in northern Iowa
Yeah.
that I was covering when I was helping out with our friends in Des Moines. But it's not that common here in the Quad Cities area, just based on our latitudinal impact.
Yeah, and you think about the storm intensity this time of year. There's big temperature gradients. There's big pressure gradients. So yeah, you're definitely going to cook up something strong in the month of March, and that's what we did. So there's your review of the totals. If you missed it, you can go to the Facebook page. It's posted there. I think, Peter, you shared it as well. Here's your March snow stats, by the way. It shouldn't be surprising that you got snow. 96% of the years here for March have had snow of some kind that's measurable. Check out the bottom stat, though. 49 of those years, now 50 because of this year,
Wow.
have had either equal or greater than 6 inches, and 25 have had more than 10.
Holy cowza.
It's not a huge number, but that 50 is kind of impressive. And that goes to show you that, yes, that is absolutely possible in March.
Yeah. I mean, I will say again, you can get those moisture maker almost storms, and if you get the temperatures right, which you can get, especially in early March, that snowfall total makes sense.
Yeah, it can definitely push you up there.
Yes.
With that list. So let's put the cold air and the winter air and the winter snow behind us. Now let's talk about something warm.
Yes.
And then we're going to get to your questions. And this is where I'm going to let kind of Peter take the reins, because what's happening with this pattern is happening close to your hometown.
Yes.
You're kind of the, what do I want to call it, ground zero of
Ground
what's going to
zero.
be happening.
Literally,
Yeah.
you could say we have this strong area of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere that's just going to park itself over the southwest of the United States and cause temperature anomalies. This is what you're looking at here. So temperature anomaly, where you're seeing that bright pink is about 10 to 15 degrees above average. That's almost over half the continental of United States that we're looking at here. So to put this into perspective, Anaheim, California, Disneyland. So yesterday, they saw a temperature of 100 degrees at Disneyland. That's about 40 to 50 miles at most inland from the Pacific Ocean. At this time of year, that temperature should be right around 75 to 85 degrees at most near Los Angeles, California, and the Inland Empire, you like to say out there. And you saw a temperature of 100 degrees. You only get those 100-degree days in June, July, August, usually in Anaheim, California.
Wow.
And now it's making its way over to my hometown of Phoenix, Arizona, where you're going to be seeing the earliest, I think, potential 100-degree day ever in Phoenix. I know we get 100-degree days a lot. That's normal. Trust me. That even in April, don't be surprised by that. But in March, usually you can get up to maybe 90 to 95. So they're going to be breaking record highs about 4 to 5 days in a row because of this high temperature in Phoenix, Arizona, by about give or take 7 to 12 degree margin than the records.
Wow.
7 to 12 degrees above the previous record high. Potentially 105 on Friday. Wow. Yeah. And I know even Northern California is getting 80s, 90s. And again, you got to think about the coastal impacts here when you get along, the Pacific. So even 40 miles inland from the Pacific, where you typically don't see 100-degree temperatures, you're going to be getting 100s pretty much here this week, or 90-degree temperatures. And there's another 100 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep.
One after another.
One after another. Yeah, this is the warmest on record pretty much for a large portion of the southwest of the United States. And that's going to come our way. It's that high pressure is going to build up almost a heat dome so large that it reaches us, which is exciting, I think.
That's why we're going to push so warm this weekend.
Yeah.
Look at what Dodge City, Kansas is doing. 90s.
Holy cowza.
It's going to be close to 90, likely in Kansas City on Saturday, if not into the low 90s. So if you're in really desperate need of a tan and you want to take a little drive 8 hours to the southwest of the Quad Cities roughly, and yeah, you can experience your first 90s of the year.
Holy cow.
If you wish. So that's an impressive dome of heat. I think what's most impressive is, you get hundreds in Phoenix, but the expansiveness of this.
The expansiveness of this high is impressive.
I could see it limited to, California, Nevada, Utah, and also maybe Arizona, New Mexico, like that kind of
High setup.
corner of the region.
Yeah, that's typical.
But the fact that it's going all the way east into the Midwest is like, whoa.
What's crazy is if you can zoom out a little bit here, I don't know if we need a pause point. Look at the difference between North and South Dakota. Where you're seeing the high and where you're seeing the jet stream.
Look at that. Oh my gosh.
That's about a, 150, 200 mile difference?
Yeah.
Where it's near freezing versus summer?
That is a huge difference.
Crazy.
Absolutely huge difference. So yeah, this is going to be a big change for us. We've already been in the 80s once this year.
Yep.
But now this will be our second time likely that we're going to be able to push into there, especially considering that all of our snow that's on the ground now will likely be gone by Saturday.
Oh,
That's the plan.
should be.
Because
I'd be shocked.
I would be too.
Unless it's in a shaded area or, on the north side of a building where it's in the shade all day. And even then, that with these temperatures, that air temp alone should do its work.
You're still going to see a lot of that melt. Maybe some parking lot piles.
Yeah.
Still left by the weekend, I think. But even on Friday, you've got 70s that are projected to be in here. And then you hop over to Wisconsin, and we're talking about 40s. So that's where they have a much deeper snowpack, by the way, which is why it's so colder, in addition to its proximity to Lake Michigan and, of course, the other Great Lakes there. But this is going to be remarkable.
It is.
Absolutely remarkable.
I mean, what is it, the Yuppies? Is that the Upper Peninsula, what they call themselves? They got about 24 to 30 inches of snow over the last 2 days. So it makes sense they're staying a little bit colder.
Yeah, that's going to have a little bit of an impact on the warmth there. But
yeah,
given the shallow nature of our snowpack now, it's just going to be amazing to watch this swing in temperatures.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know, we'll see if this map's updated. And yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
There you see where the heaviest snow is. And yeah, that matches up well.
It
Northern
does.
Illinois there. And into Green Bay, where they were just buried with an apocalyptic amount of snow. I think it was more than 2 feet.
Yep. Oh yeah. And then I saw Marquette. There were snowfall totals that were taller than Jeeps.
Wow.
And
oh my goodness.
like northern Michigan up there. So
that's
no
incredible.
fun.
Absolutely incredible.
I'm okay we missed that.
I am too. I don't want any part of it.
I don't either. No, sir.
So that's what we've got to look forward to. There's the 8-day tracker. Kind of back to reality as we get into Monday. There is a cold front that'll come in on Sunday. Right now, it looks like it might trigger a stray shower. I was looking out to the AI extended severe weather probabilities. Right now, it looks like that's focused southeast into Indiana and the Ohio, Tennessee valleys. If that changes, we'll let you know. But right now, we're not expecting really a lot to form along that cold frontier. Lack of moisture, also the lack of any big trigger, as low pressure won't be nearby. So
that makes sense. There's been that consistent trend in and out over the last little bit of showers. That Sunday into Monday. I even know last weekend I was looking at it. I just put a watch down. I like to put down, on our forecast sheets. We go and look over them over days. But nothing significant.
Yeah, looks pretty wimpy, and that's
Pretty
okay.
Wimpy. That is okay.
We need some quiet weather for crying out loud.
We need a break.
My goodness. All right, with that, we're going to get to your questions now. Go ahead and get them in the chat. Let us know what you got.
Yeah.
Get started.
We got one from Billy. Good morning, Billy. He just watched our special, which you should go and watch, by the way, on the 8 Plus app. You did the fascinating story on storm anxiety, not only for yourself,
But for our pets.
but for your pets as well. Mr. Cooper Haboob and all the other pets throughout the area. Morgan did a fantastic deep dive of the beast, the Tornado Queen herself.
Yes.
Who else?
Who better to do it?
Exactly. James kind of just broke down our severe pattern and why we approach forecasting the way we do, which is always cool.
Yep.
And I talked about the SIGs, which I've talked about a lot already, but
But still good. Good
dug
information.
deeper into those as well. And then we had a fireside chat.
That's right.
It was really fun.
With a literal virtual fire.
Yes. We're keeping our hands warm. But his question is, what is a wake low?
Ooh, a wake low. So
Yes.
a wake low often forms behind a very intense line of thunderstorms. So anytime we get a squall line and even a derecho, it can form behind a derecho as well. Wake lows are usually caused by a very strong jet stream coming in behind that line of storms, typically at the apex, what we call, so the front bend of that line. And you get this rapid fall in pressure because this storm system is so large, has so much energy, working with that jet stream, you get a little mini area of low pressure to form. And a couple of things can happen. You can get really strong winds on the backside of that, even though the squall line or the derecho has moved on.
We're used to that.
Yeah, we've seen that a number of times. And you can also get what's called a heat burst, where temperatures rise significantly. They get these a lot in Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. And most of the time,
Those dry
it
line
happens at night.
setups, right?
Yeah, the dry
Yep.
line setup, exactly. They've had some nighttime temperatures where a storm comes through, and then afterward, the temperature, even in darkness, shoots up to like 90 degrees.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah. Phoenix, you get them a lot too, right on the back of those monsoons, those little just out of nowhere.
Yeah, anywhere you can get that jet stream and that heat
Yep.
factor, oof,
Not
it's
a good
very
mix.
interesting.
Yes.
Hard to forecast beforehand, though.
It is. They're nearly impossible, really, too. Michelle, love the outlook for Saturday. I think we all do. What is the most memorable weather event you have ever covered?
For me, the derecho of 2020,
Yep.
Hands down, or maybe it was 2019. It's one of those years I can't remember.
2020, yeah.
2020, I
big
think
one.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, that's the most memorable, always will be.
Yep. Yeah. For me, that flooding in Davenport was the first time I've seen anything of that significance, which was pretty cool
It was so dramatic.
to like see.
The people in
Yeah,
the water.
that was
just,
what that storm was able to do was fascinating to study from a meteorological standpoint.
yeah.
But yeah, that was super impactful to a lot of our communities as well. Let's see. Chris and Kayla from Walnut. How do asperatus clouds form?
Asperatus clouds.
And do you have a picture of what they look like?
I wish I could load a picture into Max
I know.
really quick to
I wish
see.
we could just like Google image search on it.
It takes a minute. Yeah, I wish we had a direct connection to a computer where we could pop up a picture of those clouds. And I wish I could do that too. Actually, I will pop it up on my computer just for reference so we can see here.
Yes. There's so many cloud types.
There's like more than 150 cloud types.
One of my classes, they said there's almost up to 300 if you want to get specific.
If you want to really break it down. Oh, these are those
the little wavy ones. They kind of look like mammatus.
undulating asperatus.
Yes.
So these form due to turbulence in the atmosphere. And the best way I can describe it is if you were, say, on the beach in Florida and the waves are coming in off the ocean.
Yep.
If you were underneath the water and you were looking up at those waves coming in, that's exactly what this is.
Yes. Get them along jets or kind of low-level jets. You can get kind of that spin and the turn on
Yep.
those, and that can cause a lot of them. And that's why sometimes you see them with storms, kind of like mammatus, where you can kind
Yeah.
of get those dips here and there. Not as common, but that's kind of where you see them from.
They're really pretty.
They are beautiful.
And for me, when I look at them, it kind of makes me dizzy because they're doing that 3D thing where they're up and they're down and like
Yes.
waves. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Fascinating.
motion sickness.
And then we got a joke.
Of course, yes.
Ava, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ava's
She's ready.
What is Snoop Dogg's favorite weather?
I feel like we've had this one before.
Have we?
Long time ago. Snoop, drizzle for shizzle, is that it?
Yeah, drizzle for shizzle.
That's the answer?
Yeah, drizzle for shizzle.
I knew we'd had this one before.
think we
I
have.
cheated. Sorry.
I mean, it's a classic. Do we have any snow events for the next coming weeks or just rain events?
Nothing in the next week.
No.
I'm not going to say with 100% certainty that we're done with snow. I think we're done with that heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff,
Like, we're not going to have probably another blizzard. I think that's
No.
behind us. Could we see another accumulating snow event? Yes.
Like with
I think
1 to
so.
2 inches type of things. The cold air gets weaker and weaker and weaker at this time of year, so you got to keep that in mind as well.
That's right.
Let's see. We got a question. Bob from Geneseo. What does the spring and summer weather outlook look like as far as temps and rainfall?
Summer gets really interesting because we are expected to go into an El Nino.
A strong one at that.
Yeah, a lot of the data suggesting this could be a record-setting El
Yes.
Nino, what we call a super
Super Nino.
Nino.
Super
Yes.
Nino.
So what does that mean for us? Well, typically in that kind of a pattern, it's opposite of La Nina. So in La Nina, we'd usually worry about drought here in the Midwest. It can kind of go either way with El Nino based on what I've seen, but I think it makes you a little bit more prone to heat
Yes.
when it comes to our summers here.
Heat, and if we get the right ingredients, storms.
Storms, exactly. Yeah, we're still expecting it to be an active spring storm season.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
already seen that to
We've
start.
already seen it, and we've seen
Yep.
plenty of rainfall already as well.
Exactly.
Further to our south, which is good for us because we need moisture in the ground. Have you heard of this guy before? I think it's a Marcus from Moline.
Wonder who that is. I think his bookcase is sitting in my living room now.
Oh, really? Is it? No way. How'd you get that to happen?
I don't know. Just a life step, I guess.
Yes. Why does hail cause more lightning within a thunderstorm? That's a fun one.
We answered that during severe weather coverage.
We did.
We talked about that. It's a little physics. Do
It's
you
a little
remember?
physics, a little bit more convective, one. So think about kind of the water particles along it as well. Water convects energy or holds energy a lot better than air does. So when you get these strong hail cores, you can get a lot more kind of bouncing of that energy, and that allows it to be a little bit more convective or have a lot more energy or lightning that comes out of them.
Bingo. Right on.
It's very fun.
I'll tell you right, I'm ready to give this guy his degree in meteorology right now.
Oh, no.
I wish I had that paper right in front of me.
Oh my goodness, stop it. Kayla said, I guess it's supposed to be a bad winter. The squirrels are already out collecting a bunch of nuts.
Already?
Already?
They
Again?
should be like eating those right now, shouldn't they? Like instead of
Shouldn't,
hoarding
well,
them?
shouldn't they be trying to work off their hibernation buildup? Shouldn't
That's
they be
what I
like going on
thought.
runs?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't know.
That's true.
Hmm.
They tried to take you yesterday. Whoa,
They tried to take you?
the squirrels.
Oh, goodness.
no.
Are those Willy Wonka squirrels? Remember they took, was it Baruka? Who did they take? Who did the squirrels take from Willy Wonka? Does anybody remember? Do you remember, Morgan?
The squirrels took someone?
Didn't the
I thought that
squirrels-
was the Oompa Loompas.
Wasn't it? Because in the Johnny Depp version, the newer one, the squirrels took somebody away.
I didn't know the
Who went-
squirrels took some.
Yeah.
I didn't know the squirrels took someone.
It was whoever went down the garbage chute. I don't remember. It was one of the kids.
Okay.
One of the brats on
Those
the
are
movie.
interesting movies. The thought process behind those. Like,
It was Baruka.
Maruka.
Okay, good. She
Look at
deserved
that.
it.
She
She was
did.
the worst.
She did.
She was the absolute worst.
Her and Veronica. I didn't like Veronica either. Her. No.
Nope.
No. What's the difference between weather and climate? And this is a joke.
It is a joke?
It is a joke.
Okay, I thought we were going to have a discussion. Okay. What's the difference between weather and climate? What is the difference?
You can't weather a tree, but you can climb it.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. That's
good.
That
was
is very
Riley.
cute.
That was Riley.
I love it.
Chris, you guys did a great job on the severe weather segment. Thank you. Will the Beast be at a Touch a Truck event in Rock Falls May 30th?
Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes.
That's a yes.
Yes. I'm so excited. There's going to be that. The Smokey and the Bandit tribute cars are going to be there. The Ghostbusters car
Oh,
is going to be
yeah.
there. And I think John is working on, maybe hasn't secured it yet, but that red truck, that red Dodge Ram from the movie Twisters.
Oh, really?
That resides in Iowa, I think is also going to make an appearance.
Did I hear Back to the Future car too, or no?
The DeLorean will
The
be there
DeLorean.
as well.
There's going to be a DeLorean. Those are sweet. I've
I
seen them at a Barrett
cannot
Jackson
wait.
before.
Yes.
Those things are so cool.
It's going to be awesome.
That's going to be
You
sweet.
will not want to miss it.
When it comes to snowfall this season, where does it now stand at or near average snowfall in the entire winter, below or above average?
We are still below.
Close.
Easily, yes.
Closer, but we're still below by just a little bit. I will say if, there's amendments that need to get made to our snowfall total competition.
As he looks back at Morgan.
Yeah, she did win. But if we included non-meteorological winter seasons, all of us would have won. But as we called it out, it happened right before, and then we got our big one right after.
That's right.
Still, congratulations, Morgan. I'm
That's
just a
right.
little upset.
He's a little salty, and that's
Sad.
okay. That's
I was
all
so
right.
close.
That's all right.
It is okay. Yeah, Quad City River Bandits, those are starting soon too, which is awesome. Spring is
Yeah,
here.
that's
Spring is sprung.
right.
We got the football team now, Steam Wheelers.
The Steam Wheelers,
They're
yeah.
back too. So, summer sports and spring sports are coming soon.
Sports ball is starting.
Sports ball. I like that. What's the snowfall you're looking at?
Oh, I got to go way back because now that we have officially ended, meteorological winter, they have started
yeah.
that number over again.
That's true.
So we have to go back to the last report that came in on the last day of February. So give us a second. We're just clicking.
It takes a while. There we are. March 5th, March 4th, March 3rd, March 2nd, 1, Feb 28th.
Boom. So the winter total was 11.5, and the normal is 28.2.
Yes.
So like 16.7 inches behind.
Yes. But if we add November
Right.
and we add,
There's
Yes.
November, by the way, 20.7.
okay,
That only makes it 10 below. 10
okay,
inches.
and then you add in this one, which was 7,
Yeah,
we're only 3 below.
that's right. So we're right, like you said, we're right. where we
Right
kinda need to be.
close. Close. Tracy says, my brother owns the 85 DeLorean and it's all decked out to Back to the Future.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait to get my picture taken with that thing.
That's going to be so
It's
cool.
one of my favorite movies.
Great movies. I love the cowboy one too. I'm a
Yes.
Western. I love Western.
The Western's
themes.
awesome.
Yes. Anyways, that's all we got.
Cool. All right. Well, what's up next here, where you're at now in the A Plus app? As far as I know, we are going to send you right into the severe weather special.
Yes, we are.
As Peter said, we've all worked very hard on this. We've got everything from the SIGs, the new Storm Prediction Center outlooks, storm pet anxiety. Morgan's going to give you a tour of the Beast, which we've shockingly never done before in such
know.
detail.
It's crazy.
I know when we first brought it, Eric gave a little overview, but Morgan really did a deep dive. It is very impressive. In fact, I told her I'm taking it to my school talks this week because the kids are going to love that.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. James, of course, leading the way, leading the group with discussions and all that good stuff. And also, you can win a lawnmower.
Free lawnmower.
And it's self-propelled. You don't even have to push it. And it has a bagger, I think, on it, too.
It does have a bagger.
Yeah.
You just got to listen for your secret keyword.
What's the secret word? Is it lightning? Is it rain?
No.
Blizzard?
Derecho?
Derecho, maybe? I don't know. They haven't told us.
Severe? Who knows?
We're not allowed to enter, so we didn't bother looking up the keyword.
No, I kind of zoned out for that.
So pay attention to it. Enter that contest to win the lawnmower. Let us know what you think about the special. Another one at your fingertips that you can view there. So there's your homework. View the severe weather special. Get that keyword. Get yourself that brand new lawnmower from the folks at B&B Equipment there in Geneseo, right across the street.
gonna say right by
basically.
you.
Yeah, very close to me. So enjoy it. We're going to let you go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here for GMQC at 11. Have a great day.